Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Remember, we don't have class today, but I have a short video for you, okay? Today is November 29th. So let's get started. This is what we're working on. I can solve inequalities by substitution, okay? Now, remember, this is less than. X is less than 4. Okay, the alligator always eats the bigger number, so that's why we say x is less than 4, because it has to be a number smaller than 4, okay? X is less than or greater, x is less than or equal to 5. The line underneath always means equal to. Now here, our alligator's eating x, so we're going to say x is greater than 1, okay? Our alligator always eats the bigger number, so x must be bigger. And this one, x is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, so what we're going to learn is now how do we graph them? Okay, we graph inequalities on a number line. Okay, so what that means, okay, is we're going to use circles and arrows to graph them on a number line. Okay, a closed circle means it has the line underneath it is equal to. An open circle means there's no line underneath, just like this. Let me show you, okay? If the sign has a line underneath, then the circle will be closed. So if it has a line or a line, it's a closed circle. So this is how we would graph it. This says x is less than or equal to 3. So we put a closed circle, and we're going to point to the numbers that are less than 3, okay? Because x has to be smaller, so we're going to point to the numbers that are smaller. Right here, this says x is greater than or equal to 3. So we're going to put a closed circle, and we're going to point to the numbers that are greater than 3, okay? If the sign does not have a line underneath, then the circle will be open, okay? So this is just the less than and greater than sign. So we're going to use an open circle, okay? So we put an open circle on the number 3. It says x is less than 3. We put an open circle, and we point to the numbers that are less than 3. Okay? Same thing over here. X is greater than 3, so we have an open circle, and we point to the numbers that are greater than 3. Okay? So, how would we graph this? It says x is greater than 6. Okay? Well, I know I'm going to use, let's come find it. X is greater than 6. Well, this one says x is greater than 3. What did they do? An open circle on the number 3 and pointed to the numbers that were bigger. So x is greater than 6. I'm going to come find the number 6 right here. Put an open circle and point to the numbers that are bigger than 6. Put an open circle on the number 6 and point to the numbers that are bigger than 6. Okay, so that's how I would put x is greater than 6. This one says x is less than or equal to 7. Let's see if we can find, look, here's the same one. X is less than or equal to 3. Well, what did they do? They have a closed circle, and they're pointing to the numbers that are less than 3. So what my number is 7. So I'm going to go put a closed circle on the number 7. Okay. Closed circle on the number 7. And I'm going to point to the numbers that are less than 7. So I'm going to put an arrow this way. Just like that. Okay. If it has a line underneath, like this, it's going to be a closed circle. If it has the equal line underneath, it's going to be a closed circle. Let's do another one. X is less than 5. Well, let's come find, here's X is less than 3. What do they do? Open circle, point to the numbers less than 3. Okay, but we're needing the number 5. So I'll do an open circle on the number 5. I'm going to point to the numbers that are less than 5. Okay, so what this represents is that X can be any of these numbers on the number line. Okay, X is any number that is less than 5. So any of these numbers on this side of the arrow can be X. Negative 10 can be X, right? Negative 10 is less than 5. That's true. 4 can be X. 4 is less than 5. Okay, so we're showing on a number line all the numbers that X could be. Let's do this one. X is greater than or equal to 2. I know this is the greater than sign because here are the teeth. Alligator always wants to eat the bigger number. Okay, so I know I'm going to point to numbers bigger than 2, and here's my equals line. If I have the equal line, I know it's going to be a closed circle. So X is greater than or equal to 2. I'm going to come find the number 2. I'm going to do a closed circle. Okay, and then I'm going to point to the numbers bigger than 2. So what that means is any of these numbers greater than 2 can be X, right? 5 can be X because 5 is greater than or equal to 2. What the closed circle means is that it can also be this number. A closed circle means it can also be this number. So closed circle means I can also put the number 2 there. 2 is greater than or equal to 2. That's true because of our equal sign right there. 2 is equal to 2. An open circle means it cannot be the number that we're pointing to. It can only be the numbers on the other side of the arrow. So I want you to take a minute and see if you can figure out which one this is. Okay, it's a closed circle and it's pointing to the smaller numbers. So do you think it's A, X is greater than 4? B, X is less than 4? C, X is greater than or equal to 4? Or D, X is less than or equal to 4? Which one of those do you think? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to try and find the ones that have the closed circle. I see a closed circle, so it can't be this sign because that's an open circle, and it can't be this sign because that's an open circle. Okay, so I know it has to have the equals line underneath, so it's got to be one of these two. So I'm going to go cross out A and cross out B. Okay, now I need to figure out which way the arrow is pointing. The arrow is pointing to the numbers that are less than 4. Okay, this one is also pointing that way, and this is the sign. So I'm going to come match it right here, and it's going to be D. X is less than or equal to 4. There's my answer. Okay, and we'll talk more about this on Wednesday. Here. Don't forget, every day at Specs at 2:30. If you need help with any quizzes, you can go to Specs at 2:30. Here's my email, and here's my phone number. All right, I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.